Hello, Scorpios, and welcome to this, your April 15th through April 30th reading and predictions. How's everyone doing considering we have just come through some pretty powerful energies, including solar eclipse, Mercury going direct and retrograde, and a comet screaming past our planet? Huh. I'll leave that up to somebody else to get into all the details about how that's affecting us, but I do know that it's affecting us. So, Scorpios, how you feeling? I'd love to hear it in the comments down below. So, let's dive into your reading. Please watch this video all the way until the end because, first of all, I need a few more watch hours. Let's be honest. And also, at the very end of this video, I will be pulling yes, no cards in order to answer your burning questions. How many of us go through life almost every day asking questions? Oh, is this medication right for me? Is this supplement right? Is this food good for me? Do I, enter into a relationship with somebody or not? Do I quit my job or not? So, any of these questions, if you are willing to trust the cards in a general reading, I will be pulling those cards at the very end of this video. Okay, the last reading that I did for you, Scorpio, the last two readings that I did for you actually indicated that there was something that you needed to walk away from. I was actually very shocked when I had done your March 15th through March 31st reading. It indicated there was something really important that you needed to walk away from. It was preventing you from being able to move forward in your life. And then again, when I did the last reading for you, covering the time frame April 1st through April 15th, again, cards came up indicating that there was something really important that you needed to walk away from. It was definitely holding you back. And then one of the other cards that came up for you, just a moment, I just need to pause the video here for just a second. Someone's at the door. There we go. All right, we're back on. Sorry, someone came to my door. So, also in your last video, you had the Four of Pentacles three times. And the Four of Pentacles asks us to explore our relationship with the material world, our connection to the material world. Are we spending more money on material stuff than what we actually have as far as money goes? Are we in a position where our budget is not balanced? Um, and it's a card indicating that there's a need to explore needs versus wants. So, Scorpio, how are you doing? Where are you at when in relation doing that deep dive and that exploration? Have you done that? Have you resolved some budget issues? Let's dive in and pull some cards and see where you're at. All right, we're going to start off here with the Light Seer Tarot. Looks like you have a new beginning coming up. The first card to jump out is the Fool. So that is about new beginnings. Eight of Wands. All right. Huh. New beginnings with a bang. So you do have the Fool coming out here as the first card in this reading. This is about new beginnings, having moved on from something. So it does look, Scorpio, as if you heeded the advice from the last two readings, the end of March and the beginning of April readings, indicating that you had something to move on from. Just going to move my lighting here just a little bit. I look like I'm dying. I look like death warmed over. Bad coloring. The other card that you have here is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is a card of coming together, a group of people coming together in order to be able to create that spark, as well as to create um, something new, a new beginning, a new start, something exciting. The saying or the phrase, something that comes to mind is two heads are better than one, four eyes are better than two. And part of the reason that many companies have staff meetings on a regular basis is because of the concept of brainstorming. And that's essentially what the meaning is behind this card. Having the Fool and the Eight of Wands come together does indicate that there is something new that is beginning for you at this time, Scorpio. which is great, fantastic. You've let go of something from your past and it's allowing you to now move forward. But it does look like whatever endeavor you are moving forward into is likely to have some team help, other people coming in to help you. Now, I do want to say that at least initially, these cards are indicating that this is more of a team effort as you're moving forward into this. There are other cards in the tarot that would indicate it was more of a partnership between two people. This is indicating more of a team effort. So let's dive into what you are focusing on and where you are putting your attentions for the latter half of April. Okay, the fairies are going to be naughty again. I'm going to just pull that one out. It flipped over. The fairies are being naughty again. And flipping out way more cards than what is necessary for the purposes of the reading. We are also going to pull out these cards that are left standing up. All right. So what we're going to do here, Scorpio, is we're going to pick up this mass of cards that the fairies have given us, and we're going to shuffle through these cards. That's 2, 3. Okay, fairies. We need 2 or maybe 3 cards to help us determine what Scorpio is focusing on for the latter half of April, please. Okay, fairies, you had a lot to say a moment ago. 2 or 3 cards, please. All right, there's 1, and there's 2. There we go. Okay, so we have another major arcana card combined with a minor arcana. And this time we have the Empress coming out, and the Empress is about giving birth to a new idea, putting a new idea out into the world, tapping into that inner creative that we all have, but that most of us have repressed or suppressed most of our lives because we were told that we had to color between the lines, and we were told, oh, you're just not creative enough, or I don't know if that's good enough. And most of us have repressed it, but this is telling me, along with the Fool here, Scorpio, that you are absolutely stepping up and stepping into something new. And it is a very creative endeavor. There is something that you're wanting to put out into the world. The Seven of Cups is your next card of what you're focusing on. Seven of Summer corresponds to the Seven of Cups. This is a card of no more procrastination, but it's also a card of needing to make a decision. And the trick with this particular card when it comes into our lives is making sure that when we dip into our decision making mode, we don't go into a place of fantasy and we're making decisions from really more of a concrete place, from a place of knowing our inner selves, from tapping in deeply to our own intuition, whether that intuition comes from a place of the heart, from the stomach, wherever your little spidey sense comes out. This is the card saying tap deeply into that and make sure that you're not making decisions from a place of having been promised the world. This card can also indicate that we may have been promised, something that was too good to be true, and we might be going after that. So these two cards together for what you are focusing on are actually extremely positive, with the caveat of make sure that you're not going into fantasy territory. But you are absolutely on the verge of something brand new. Um, both of these cards indicate taking some action as well in order to bring about this new creative idea. I'm just tapping in. For a lot of you Scorpios, I've got the word social coming up. I feel like for many of you, some of what you are currently seeking and looking into is finding a new social circle. I feel like some of what you walked away from with the last two readings, end of March, early April readings, was a social situation, a social community that was no longer seeing things from your perspective. You guys were seeing things differently, and it was causing some strife and it was uncomfortable. And so I do feel like some of what you're walking into, like even with this Eight of Wands here, this sense of community coming together in order to be able to create and step into this new energy, this creative energy, as well as making a decision, no more procrastination, taking action. You're moving into something new, but you're moving into it with a new community, not with the old community. You're not dragging along a lot of heavy old energies. Let's move into your difficult influences and challenges, Scorpio, for the latter half of April. See what comes up. We had one card, it looked like it was going to come out and then it decided not to. Okay. So, in your difficult influences, let's take these in the order that they came out. Just get these up. Okay. So, in your difficult influences and challenges, you have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands indicates, um, for lack of a better way, too many cooks can ruin the soup, or too many cooks can ruin the broth. You also have the Nine of Wands here, indicating that you maybe be feeling like you're challenged in something that you're doing. And the sense that I have, you have the Fool, the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Cups, and the Empress here. And my sense was before these cards came out was that you were moving into a new community, moving into a new group of people that were more aligned with your belief system and more aligned with where you want to go with your new creative pursuits and endeavors. And in your challenges, you have the Five of Wands and the Nine of Wands, and both of these cards indicate um, that you may be being challenged by those from your past. Those from your past don't understand your new pursuits, your new creativity, your newfound strength to move forward into something new. And so there's a little bit of pushback from them. Is that a problem? No, not really. You have the heads up. You know that those energies are kind of swirling around. And so you just deal with them. You have the Justice card coming in as well in your difficult influences. Now, when the Justice card comes in, of course, I am not a lawyer. I'm not allowed to give you legal advice, formal legal advice. What I can do is give you common sense advice. And the common sense advice that comes up when the Justice card appears in our lives is you probably don't want to be speeding at this time. If you pull up to a stop sign, make sure you're coming to a complete stop. Don't be jaywalking, little things like that. When the Justice card comes up, just a heads up. And the other thing that the Justice card can represent is karma. You'll notice here on the card, the character is partially blindfolded. Okay? This is an indication that justice is blind. So's karma sometimes. We trust that the universe wants to be in balance. The scales of justice like to be in balance. The universal law of karma likes to have balance. And when these concepts and constructs are not in balance, and this card comes up in your difficult influences, it's an indication that there's a rebalancing happening. It does not mean that you need to go out and take justice or karma into your own hands. This is your reminder that it'll take care of itself. But you might not always have the opportunity to see justice or karma in action. So just a heads up there, Scorpio. All right, you have the Nine of Cups here. Nine of Cups is a card of quiet contemplation. It's a card of feeling like you're in a good place. Excuse me, feeling like things are going the way that they are meant to be going. Now, this card came out right next to the Justice card in your difficult influences, indicating that this is what's happening behind the scenes, but you may not be feeling it yet. You might not be seeing it yet. Just trust that it's happening. Move into that place of quiet contemplation. I mean, look at the image on the card. Does that not look relaxing? Move into this. Allow for this to happen. And then you have the Two of Pentacles coming in your difficult influences. Two of Pentacles in your difficult influences is a card about needing to make a financial decision, potentially about this new beginning, budgeting, looking at your finances. How much money do you really have to be able to put into your new creative adventure or endeavor? So yeah, this is a card of budgeting. Make sure that you are budgeting wisely in your new creative endeavors here, Scorpio. All right, messages from the universe. Messages the universe wants you to hear at this time. Okay, so we have two messages from the universe. The first one is never judge another. Okay, and that may be why you have in your difficult influences the Five of Wands and the Nine of Wands, as well as the Justice card here. There may be some judging going on, maybe a little bit on your part, but I am feeling more on the that you're being judged. And so we are a reflection to the outside world, and the people that we meet are a reflection back to us about what's going on in ourselves, in our own internal world. So, the Five of Wands and the Nine of Wands coming up in your difficult influences is an indication that you may be feeling like you're judged, but in return, you may be judging others. So, just watch for that energy coming up that as you feel like you're being judged, make sure that you're not turning that around and judging others. And that may be why you have the Justice card coming in here as well, because, like I said, um, you know, the universe likes balance. And then express your feelings. Don't be afraid to express your feelings. It's okay. If you're feeling like you're being judged, if you're feeling like there's too many opinions swirling around with that Five of Wands coming in, express yourself, but express yourself in a healthy, conscientious, constructive way as opposed to a judgy way. Okay. Moving into what is unexpected. Where are we going for unexpected for Scorpios? Unexpected for Scorpio, latter half of April. Oh my. I'm not even sure where that went. That really flew up high. Okay, let's see. I have no idea where that card went. Okay. In your unexpected, you have success corresponding to the Six of Wands, but you have it right next to the Four of Swords, which is about postponement. These two cards together in your unexpected are definitely confirming the Fool as your very first card in the reading, and the Empress coming in, the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Cups, it's definitely confirmation that you are stepping out and stepping into something new. And that whatever it is that you are stepping out and stepping into, Scorpio, it has success written all over it, but perhaps it's not in the timeline that you want it to be. It's in the timeline that is for your highest interest. Now, the Four of Swords often is called the Quiet Hermit or the Little Hermit card. It is the card of stepping back from a situation into quiet contemplation and allowing some things to play out before you barge in again. Okay. So it is about postponing something, but not indefinitely. It's not that this success here is not going to happen, but it's just not going to happen on your timeline, Scorpio. It's going to happen on the universe's timeline. Someone is at my door again. Okay, Scorpio, I'm back again. Oh my goodness, I apologize for these little glitches. Okay, so, yes, your success is assured with the cards that are coming up, but it's not going to be on your timeline. It's going to be on the universe's timeline. Going into your final general overall outcome, we are going over here to the tarot. Final general overall outcome for Scorpio for the end of April. Uh-oh, we have the Seven of Swords coming out. All right, so the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card indicating that someone in your midst might not be being as open and honest as they could be or should be being. And so you're going to want to, um, I think that that's probably why that explains the postponement card coming in, that something is not moving ahead. There is something or someone, and perhaps even having the Nine of Wands and the Five of Wands in your difficult influences, this feeling like you're being judged, feeling like you're being challenged for moving ahead. And again, now this similar kind of icky energy coming up here with this Seven of Swords. So, yeah, definitely something to keep your eyes on. So, again, you're still moving forward in something, Scorpio, and you're moving forward in a creative endeavor, but there are still some hurdles before you can fully move forward in this new endeavor. The next card that you have in your difficult influences is the Death card. Now, the Death card is actually about death and rebirth. It's about transformation. It's about letting go of something from the past. The fact that this card came up right next to the Seven of Swords is indicating that there is someone whom you may have been considering partnering with for the purposes of business or a new creative idea, and they turn out not to be who you thought they were, and so you put things on temporary hold, you postpone things a little bit, you sort all of that out, and you transform yourself again. That's what the Death card is about. It's about a metamorphosis. Um, and I want to say, Scorpio, this is your card, by the way. You'll notice here that there's a Scorpio here. Each card in the tarot corresponds to different zodiac signs. The Seven of Swords corresponds to the Aquarius. So the Death card is your card. And this is about a metamorphosis. It's about you changing, shifting, um, adapting. That word resonated. It's about you adapting. As you're putting this new idea, this new creativity out into the world, there is the necessity for you to adapt, change, and rebirth yourself so that you can be wary of this type of energy. Now, this type of energy, you can see the character on the card is stealing swords and sneaking away. Not nice energy. The final card that you have is really, really interesting to me because you have the Fool card, which is the number 0 card, the very first card in the tarot. And now you have the Judgment card. The Judgment card is the number 20 card. The cards are numbered from 0 up to 21. So this is the second last card in the Major Arcana. And this is the card of you're almost there, you're leveling up, you've learned a soul lesson, you've started something new, you're learning, you've moved through so many steps and phases of it, you've grown a lot. And the Judgment card is about sitting in judgment of ourselves and where we have come from and where we sit today. What served us well going through the process of learning, starting this new endeavor, starting this creative project. What didn't serve us? Can we release that and let go of it? Can we transform ourselves, metamorphosize ourselves? These are all the things that you are going to be looking at and exploring as you go through the month of April. Also, really interesting is just the timing. I mean, a lot of people view April 1st as the actual new year. And if we look back to before the Gregorian calendar came into effect and gave us January 1st as the new year, April 1st was the new year. So, wow, Scorpio, this reading, to sum it up, you are absolutely on a new path, a new journey. Something very creative is coming up. At some point in time, you might have to put the brakes on it and postpone your success very temporarily because there's maybe a snake in your midst. But in so doing, these last two cards together, the Death card together with the Judgment card, are about you setting new boundaries, like really hard, firm boundaries as you go forward. So, yeah, all the best with all the new boundaries. Let's step into your yes no question. I have my yes no deck here. So bring your yes no question to mind. I'm going to just shuffle the deck until we have one card that jumps out. Can we please have a yes or a no for Scorpio for the end of April for their question? Yes or no? All right. In response to your question, Scorpio, your answer is no need to worry. No need to worry. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If this reading resonated for you, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. And as always, if you are interested in booking a private consultation, I am available and all of my contact details are down below. Thank you so much, and I look forward to having the opportunity to do your next reading at the beginning of May.